Find out what's hot and what's not.
We watch your programme every week.
Plonk yourself down in your favourite armchair and put your feet up for part 2 of the funkiest show on TV. First up, it's Ministry Magazine's dance chart, then we'll be seeing you on the Emerald Isle for Traks in Portrush.
Number 10, Wise Guys, Cowboy 78.
Number 9, Night Vision, ready for the weekend.
Number 8, Montano versus Trumpet Man. It's a trumpet thing.
Number 7, Intention, Full Spanish Hustle.
Number 6 is Bedrock, Heaven Sent.
Number 5, Very Closely, Lost in Ibiza.
Number 4, Find Your Finery, 999 Remix.
Alright, number 3 is Junior Sanchez with Beat Down Chow, Be With You.
Number 2, Paul Johnson, Get Down, Choo Choo Mix.
And number 1, my local, Singing It Back.
Hi, I'm Paul Oakenfold. You're watching CLUBAVISION. Stay tuned.
Now it's time to make tracks to the famous club of that name in Portrush, Northern Ireland. The club's called Traks because it's located in a building that was once a railway station, where local party people can now book a one-way ticket to Trance Heaven.
Welcome to the building.
I'm joined by Brian Moore, who's in charge of entertainments here at Traks. How much work goes into promoting a night here?
Well, there's so much competition nowadays that you're constantly thinking of new ideas. Traks has always been a club that is something of a party venue. It's a friendly club. I've never believed in pushing Traks so far out front that it's there to be knocked down.
Tell us about the layout of the club.
It's an old railway station building. There's an atmosphere to that. It's multi-level. It's a very well designed club, designed by the predecessor, and no matter where you are in the club you can see the stage.
So what's the crowd like here at Traks?
They're a party, they're a good clubbing crowd. They're up for it, they're just up for it. They're a great crowd, real friendly crowd.
And what's the music like here?
Well, as you can hear in the background there, good solid dance programme. Occasional guest DJs, no, regular guest DJs, I have to say, and always trying to think up just something a little bit different.
Do you feel as though you need to get big names over here in order to draw the crowds?
I wouldn't want to be the kind of club that has to have a big name guest DJ every week to get a crowd, because at the end of the day, one night a week doesn't pay the bills in a club. You have to run several nights, and whether that means you're going for a good solid clubbing crowd once a week, the Sharon and Tracy crowd once a week, the student crowd once a week. You have to do all these things in a club that pays the bills, you know.
And what DJs have you had over here?
Recently, Brandon Block, Dave Pearce did a nice little set a couple of weeks back with Rob DeSera last week. With other regulars like Alan Key from Scotland, who's proved a big hit over here. I have to say he's a great DJ. The guys who are on tonight, Pete Doyle and Des Mitchell. Pete's been here before, and Des, of course, is a total character, great DJ, and we're delighted to have him back again.
How do you think clubbing in Ireland differs from mainland Britain?
If you got guest DJs or whatever, you could have about 6 in the one night in England, because they can run up and down the motorways. It's not just as easy over here, and maybe we've got more restrictive licensing laws. That said, all the guest DJs who come over here, they absolutely love it. And some of them are nervous about coming to Northern Ireland, but once they come over for the first time, they can't wait to come back.
What's it like in there?
Brilliant.
Lethal. Where are you from?
Ballymena.
Larne. Ballymena show!
Northern Ireland. Come the whole way from Larne down to here every week.
How far's that?
60 miles away.
Me and my pa here are the club guys, you know. Now we go round, check out the talent and check out what's going on.
Say no more, say no more. What's it like in Traks? It is fucking lethal. Brilliant.
What do you think of tonight?
Brilliant! Death metal is the best! The death metal coming on, he's the best DJ in the world.
Why?
He's just lethal. He is brilliant. Good, brilliant.
Well, the resident DJ is Stevie B, and he's been here since he's been a boy.
How about Irish DJs? Crap. No? What's Robbie Nelson like? He's an Irish lad, isn't he?
Oh, yes, dead on. It's really hard banging, really transit. It's the best ever. Real good local lad.
Robbie Nelson!
You're not in the Des Mitchell fan club then?
Yes, I seen him in Mallorca. I've been dancing here for about 11 years, since I was 18.
What's weird music?
And trancy shit. No beat to it. We like the beat.
As the saying goes, when it's time to dance, it's time to make tracks.
The atmosphere in Traks is different from everywhere else. It's just electric. You know, it's really brilliant. You can't really describe it. It's just like, come on, get going for it. You know, God!
What are the men like?
All right. I can get there.
Here, Cody Beers are out, right?
What other clubs do you go to around here?
Kelly.
Over here, we don't care who you are, what you are, we're into you still. We're all the same. We're all
out to party.
What do you like most about clubbing?
Dancing. You have to boogie your heart out.
Is there anything you dislike about clubbing?
Going home. All right, Sean, see you later, Sean!
Bye. I'm joined by Pete Dorr. How did you get into DJing?
I fell into it by accident. I was always influenced in sort of dance music. I'd always been obviously really keen on sort of like early dance music. And my brother had a mixer, and I just started messing around like you do, just sort of mucking around in the bedroom. And then I got bitten by the bug, as they say, and the rest is history.
Apart from DJing, what have you got going on at the moment?
Very busy in the studio. I've set up my own label, Rock Solid Recordings, which I've got my new release out next month. Busy recording, remixing various projects. We're doing some stuff for Neo Records. We've got a new single, which is a big disco thing, which is due out next month, which is set to do big things. And obviously just sort of busy with remixing and building my profile as a producer as well.
You've got a big tour coming up at the end of this year. Tell us about that.
Yeah, some friends of mine, basically I was sending tapes to out in Australia, we sort of met over a few sort of phone calls. They've invited me out to play out there in November for 3 weeks. So I've got a little 3-week stint in there, which I'm really looking forward to because I've never been to Australia. So it should be good. Really looking forward to it.
I've heard you actually did a bit of modelling in the past, even girly mags. Tell us about that.
My mate of mine, he's got his own label. He used to give me a lot of his shirts and stuff to wear out, and I've basically done a few like modelling sessions for him when he'd done a few fashion shows in London and stuff. But yeah, that's all it. And I had a few pictures in a few girly magazines. I'm actually in a magazine this month for some silly little PR stunt as well.
With the DJing, do you ever get bored of it? I mean, do you ever get sick and tired of partying?
Oh yeah, all the time.
It's a silly question to ask, wasn't it? But
I love it. It's like, I don't know, I never get bored of it. I mean, it's tiring. I mean, I've been up for 2 days, or nearly 2 days now, but you know, when you've got a good gig lined up in front of it, it just sort of brings you back. And once you're on the decks, it's sort of all that tiredness and the sort of all the dreariness just goes straight away, and you think, yeah, that's what I've come for. This is what it's about, you know. But I never get bored of it. And anyone that says they are bored of it, then they're liars, or they shouldn't be in it anymore.
So where can people catch you playing?
At the moment, I'm playing a monthly resident at the Hush in Birmingham, so I'll see you there because you're a native from there as well. Also guesting at Taste in Scotland on a Sunday, which is a fantastic in Edinburgh. I'm starting up my new night as well in Kent in about 2 months' time in Maidstone. I've yet to think of a name for it. Also sort of guesting in around London, a lot in the Midlands, Passion at Colville, play out there every so often, and also play at the Met in Armagh in Northern Ireland, and down at Zoe's in Cork once a month as well, which is good. All around, coming to a club near you soon.
I'm joined by Des Mitchell. You made your name in BCMs in Mallorca. Has it still got the magic that it's always had?
Yeah, it has. I was actually thinking at the beginning of the year this year that I'd call it a day after 10 years there. I originally went there in '89 for 3 days, and here I am 10 years later, still there. So you know,
you're part of the woodwork there.
Part of the furniture. It's been said this year by several DJs that have turned up. You're still here? And I'm like, yeah, afraid so.
You spent most of your career working abroad. Tell us about some of the places you've worked.
I've worked in Toronto, in Canada. I used to work the Copra on Yonge Street, which is now a car park, I believe. I worked out there for 6 months. I've done a stint in Japan. I say a stint. I've been backwards and forwards 3 times there. The first stint lasted a year, which is the original 3-month contract. So I went to work for Amex, who opened a club out there, $40 million. It was just
Was it made of gold or something?
it might as well have been. It was beautiful, beautiful people. And they still brought in people like George Morel, Eric Murillo, and that. So it was nice. It was all my old friends coming back and having a jam. So they were like, "What are you doing here?"
Was it a bit cold for you in Canada?
Canada, I went from sort of 90 degrees daily in Tenerife to minus 16. And the first day I woke up, I remember the news guy saying, it's going to be a bit chilly today, minus 24 with a wind chill taking it down to minus 32, so wrap up. And I went, what? And my friend's like, oh, let's go down the mall shopping. And I went, did you hear what he just said? I still lasted 6 months out there. How I did that, I do not know. And I went there in the winter as well. Wrong.
So you must enjoy the travelling, but does it ever get a bit of a drag?
No, what gets a drag is when airlines lose your records, especially your record boxes. I say records because it's been known that they even open the box and take records out.
Selective.
Yeah, I'll put it down to 2 things. Either there's a bedroom DJ working in airlines, or there's people who just go, DJ record box, let's lose that one and just piss them off for a night.
In the winter you like to do a bit of skiing, don't you?
I snowboard more than ski. I started snowboarding in '89. I first went out to ski in a place called High Zurs in Austria, which was a very respected ski resort. And I turned up going, oh, at least I can practice my skiing here, because I'd learnt while I was in Canada. And they said, oh, we don't ski here, we snowboard. And I was like, snowboard? And he opened this room and he said, these are the snowboards. You take a pick, you have snowboards that you like, and you find boots that fit, and you'll go. And I was like, well, where do I go? And he said, the ski lift is here, you'll go. He said, you don't need teacher, you go. And I went up on the first lift, sat at the top of the slope for an hour, froze my bum solid, and thought, how do I get down this mountain? And eventually one of the other guys came up and he said, stay there, I show you. And he got off the lift and showed me how to go down backwards. And I was like, backwards? Are you mad? So I ended up going down backwards. And 3 weeks before the season opened, by the time the season opened, I was ready. I was there. Dreadlock guy, snowboard on his arm, and everyone's like, oh, see.
You was once a runner-up in the DMC World Mixing Championships, weren't you? Was that a fair cop?
No. I waited years to say that. No. And Chad Jackson, who was a very, very good friend of mine, he won it. There was me, Chad Jackson, CJ McIntosh. Also in one semi-final, there was a semi-final with, there was Dr. K, who's now DJ Hype, Mark Ryder, who's now World Dance or something like that. There was Carl Cox, there was DJ Pogo, and there was myself. So that's quite a lineup in itself, just for a semi-final heat. So there's loads of good banter going around and good DJs going around them days. Yeah, good fun. Still enjoy it. I still put it a little bit into my sets and that little scratching and double ups and copies and things, but I did 3 years as a finalist. Hey, what can I tell you?
Do you think a lot of DJs these days are guilty of playing for themselves?
Yeah, you do get some of that. Yeah, I mean, it was more so sort of 3 or 4 years ago than it is now. A lot of the DJs now, if they come and play with us at BCM, because they're following me, I'm hyping the crowd up so much for them. So the expectancy is they got to come in and do a job. Otherwise, you know, I'm going to get upset. Yeah. You know, of course. I mean, it's not fair. I don't see why people should pay, you know, £25, 30 quid, whatever it is, to come in, see a DJ who they know or recognise from another club that they've been to see in home, and, you know, that DJ just comes in and basically goes, you know, gives me money, cheers. And I'm like, what? What are you doing? You know, it makes me want to run upstairs and say to the boss, oi, how much are you paying him? No, he's not coming back. Where's his card? He's not coming, he's not coming. He can come if he behaves. No, no, that's what it makes me want to do. It's the same for you know, Brian and Steve when they bring people over here to Northern Ireland. It's the same thing. They want people who are going to come here, entertain the crowd and do a job. I mean, luckily I get invited back. I thank you, David Hall Promotions. But I believe that if they're going to come and see me, I'm going to work my butt off for them. I want them to enjoy themselves. Yeah, I've always been like that. I can't see the reason for being any different. In our DJ box in BCM, it is so damn big, we light up like a Christmas tree. So if you don't shine in there, I'm sorry. you know, don't come.
It's time to close the book on another weekend's Clubland action. As always, Ireland has been as hospitable as ever, but I need to get home for some much needed R&R before the ravages of next weekend sets in. Next week on CLUBAVISION we check out Mono at Media, Nottingham's newest club. Chat to Brian Transo, aka BT, get the lowdown on DJ Magazine's dance chart and pay a visit to Dolly Mixers at the Escape Club in Brighton. See you then.
Like, tag, share and subscribe.
Oh, this is CLUBAVISION, and this is how it's done. This is CLUBAVISION, CLUBAVISION's #1.
Where's that f***ing raid, man?